morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is January the 21st, 2021, and today the topic is called Be Careful. We're here, y'all. We still yet here. I don't know how y'all are holding up on this day after the inauguration. But, yeah, man, there's a lot of things I observed yesterday, and everything like that. So, but honestly, this topic today was, I guess, given to me this morning. Long story short, I woke up around 1:12, so I did find that verse. The verse that stood out to me this morning was 1:12, so I will share that in a moment. But I woke up at that time because my husband got into bed at that time. But anyway, and then it's like when he's around, I wake up, whatever. Anyway, so I woke up and I looked up the verses, and then I tried to go back to sleep. And but I stayed up for a little while. I ended up reading and looking up some stuff or whatever the case was, and then I finally did, I think I closed my eyes a good hour or so before it was time for me to get up. But in that moment when I woke up, and after I looked 1:12 up, then the phrase "be careful" came into my mind, and I just was like, oh Lord. Honestly, I was reminded of there's a lot of calling out and pointing fingers right now. Alright, I'm just gonna say it. So basically, as you all may or may not know, there's been a lot of prophecies surrounding this election, and even surrounding the inauguration day and all this other stuff, right? I don't know if you heard any of the people that's prophesied or whatever the case is. So a lot of people feel as if these are false prophets because the prophecy that they said didn't happen yesterday. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm a prophet. I don't know. My focus has been, you know what? I'm going to just focus on God's will, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, I got my thoughts. Yeah, I got my, hopes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, God's going to do what he's going to do, right? But at the same time, God's going to do what he's going to do when he want to do it. So, that's all I would say. That's what came to me this morning. Now, I don't know if that's a prophecy for you or something. But what came to me this morning was be careful in regards to all these prophets that you want to call false prophets. Now, there's plenty that the Bible say about false prophets. Now, I'm not saying they are or they not. It's so funny. I was about to, they is or they ain't. I ain't saying if they is or they ain't. All I'm saying is God does things on his timing. So even though inauguration they came and went, that doesn't mean, what does that mean to God? So I just feel like, this is just me. Now, this is just me. I'm being open and out as the same Bible. This is a miracle. From what I've read in the Bible and what I've observed and everything like that, like that song say, may not come when you want to be right on time. Like, that has been true in my life, and I've seen that happen in the Bible. There's several accounts of words being spoken to the people, and it may not have happened when the people expected, or people may not have taken the words seriously. But then, all I'm going to say is, I'm sure that Noah looked like a false prophet at some point. I'm sure that Moses looked like a false prophet at some point. There's many accounts. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? That's all that I'm saying right now. So I'm not saying yay, nay, that these people are or not. It ain't even up to me. It's not up to me at all. All I'm saying is I will be careful with pointing fingers and calling people and telling people what they should do with what God has told them. Because I saw a lot of that. And I still see a lot of that. I mean, there's pastors that want to call out other pastors. There's, people that are posting like people need to repent X, Y, and Z. Like, I mean, hey, I don't know. Maybe y'all come on here and be like, oh, Miracle, you try to tell us every day what we need to do. Honestly, I am just doing what I feel that God put on my heart to do, which is share, Bible verses every day and X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying I'm a pastor. I'm not saying none of that stuff. You know what I mean? Perhaps this is my way to hopefully make disciples. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, that's what came to me this morning. Don't shoot the messenger now. I'm like, she a false prophet because she said. I don't think I said anything in particular. I think I'm saying what the Bible says. And what was given to me this morning, put on my heart and mind, was to be careful regarding these prophets. Now again, there are false prophets, but then like they say, you're gonna know them by their fruit, and we're on God's timeline. Everything is on God's timeline. So whether something happens or not, whether it happens today or not, I don't know all that. All I'm going to say is, I'm not going to be quick, and this is just me, I'm not going to be quick to point out and be like, you know what, that person's a false prophet. And I'm not going to get on here and be like, unless the Lord want me to now. But it's not my intention to get on here bashing nobody, calling them false prophet, X, Y, and Z, and then lo and behold, something happens tomorrow that they said, and it's like, oh, so what you gonna do? You gonna come back and be like, oh, well, I was wrong about calling that person a false prophet? I would just pray. You know what I mean? I would be careful with that. And that's just me though. That's just me. Obviously, people will do whatever you want to do. You got free will to do whatever you want to do. But that's just what came to my heart and mind this morning. Now, also, like I told you guys, I woke up at 1:12. And so the verse that stood out to me this morning from that goes with 1:12 is James 1:12. It says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. All right, y'all. Now, for those that may be a bit, maybe your faith is a little shaken right now. Maybe you did listen to one of the prophets, or you did listen to a lot of both sides of the coin, or whatever the case is. You know what? I don't know how much of my personals I need to be sharing from this. Well, this doesn't have anything to do with my personal opinion at all, really. I just think that we should be concerned. We should be praying. We should be concerned. Our eyes should be open to this. Like this, I think. Again, I guess it's just a me statement, but I think that this election and this whole situation is just different than any other situation. Now, perhaps some of this stuff has happened in the past, and that's probably part of the problem. We didn't realize how easy it was and I know some of you guys probably don't agree. So, it's hard. It's hard to say this to people that may not even know, or they may not even see the information that I've seen, even though it's out there for you to see. Like, anybody could just Google it and see. Well, maybe not Google. Maybe you could go some stuff and see some of this stuff. Or, but some stuff came out on the news. If you're one of those people that follow the mainstream news, so I was, okay, so as you guys probably know, one of the people that I kind of listen to or follow is Angela Stanton King. And of course, she's still on the same stuff she's been on. So that's one thing I can appreciate, anybody that stands firm in their belief or whatever the case is. But not even just that though. It's just if you have seen any of the evidence that proves that something happened in this last election, whether you believe it or not, whether you agree or not, but if you saw the videos of suitcases being pulled out from under tables, you know what I mean, or if you've seen any other stuff, right? I guess I just can't understand why people wouldn't be concerned about that. Like, I get it. Maybe people are like, well, by many enemies necessary, whatever. My person got in, so I don't care. I don't know. I don't know where you're at with the thought. I'm just saying, as a parent, and hearing about legislations, and then observing let's just focus on legislations, like hearing the different legislations of the leaders and seeing the things that were done to get this result. I'm concerned. Now, I don't know about you. Maybe you're not concerned. Some people don't seem to be concerned at all with this. This is just me again. I just feel like at some point, by the time some people see what's really going on, it's going to be too late. And there's already going to be laws and things passed and established that is going to affect you and your family, because it's already begun. So, I mean, take a look at some of the executive orders that I'm hearing have been signed already. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there was things that was posted on the website, on, campaign websites and everything like that, saying this is what we stand for and this is what we want to do and X, Y, and Z. And so, I mean, if that doesn't line up with your values or your beliefs or how you want to raise your family or whatever the case is, then maybe you understand what I'm talking about, the concern. Now, what I pray and hope that is whatever, no matter what happens, that I, me, my family, friends, everybody like that, God will allow us to be able to still work, all things work together for the good of those that love God, so regardless, that God would have us in our back. But at the same time too, it's like I was saying yesterday, it's like we're between grace and we're between chastisement, and perhaps you don't see where the chastisement comes in right now, but perhaps we will. I don't know. Listen, I'm just gonna tell y'all what this say here. Look, I done did too much talking about me. So my little thoughts. So let me tell y'all this right here. Psalms 37. Now, in the Go Deeper section, I'm gonna just let you guys. I'm just gonna put that whole Psalms 37. That y'all can check that whole thing out for the Go Deeper section. But I'm gonna share right now verses 1 through 3, and it says, "Fret not thyself because evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed." So if you are someone that is concerned about what you're witnessing and everything like that, let that marinate on your hearts and minds this morning. As a little bit of inspiration, as some juice for you this morning, and everything like that. Habukkuk 2 and 3 says, "For still The vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Like I said, y'all, man, at the end of the day, we are not on our own time. Like, things are not going, we should already be aware of this, honestly. Like, things don't happen when we say it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, now, honestly, I think that was one of the things. Now, I know I didn't share with you all. I kind of just kept it to myself. But I guess I'm sharing it. I don't know. But anyway, one of the things that came to my mind about everything and knowing what prophecies have said or prophets have said concerning this and everything, I was slightly concerned, not only just for the alternative, but for the body of Christ, because as if you don't know or if you can't see, it's like we're already weak. We're not united. We're not. It's like we don't believe the same, reading the same Bible apparently, but aren't getting the same revelation about practical things. And because of this, we can't unite. We just divided. We just not coming together, for whatever reason, for a lot of reasons, or whatever the case is, whether that be race or whatever, denominations, all that stuff. And so for prophets to have spoken and it look as if it's not coming to pass, I just was kind of concerned about that, because I was like, it just really would probably damper the spirit of Christianity and in faith and everything like that, making people's faith waver and stuff. So I think, and that's why, because of that, in my mind, I was like, I don't see God allowing that to be, because he's true to his word. Like, his word, he's been true to his word, So that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, the inauguration day came and went, right? And some are rejoicing, some are deflated. I don't know who's listening to me. I don't know which side you're on with that. Either way, though, God is in control. And, so for those that are deflated, again, I wouldn't be too worried or concerned. I would just remind myself of what the word has said in the past about, different things that was spoken over to people, and how long it took. Like, how long was it before Jesus came? You know what I'm saying? Like, just remind yourself of all this. Like, how long was it before Pharaoh finally let the people go? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so just, I wouldn't be too worried per se. I'd be praying now, and everything like that. But at the same time, I just be, be praying and everything like that. Now, if you're on the side of celebration, hey, by all means, if this is what you believe in, X, Y, and Z, then, okay. But all I would say is that pay attention to what these leaders are doing and what they have done. Forget what they have done at this point. Because obviously you didn't care enough about that to check that out. And no judgment on either one. Like, I'm not even trying to say that. But I'm just being honest about the situation. Like, if you're celebrating, then obviously you haven't researched these people to know, or you have and you don't care. And that's the other thing about the situation. But anyway, I just would say I would pay attention to what's being done, and I would really pray, and I would see, like, how is this going to affect me and my family? And that's I don't know what else to say with that. I mean, but again, no judgment on either side. I mean, my thing is I'm just going to still trust and believe God is going to do whatever He's going to do, and I just pray that all things will work together for the good. As someone that believes, as someone that believes what the Bible say, and even I guess that's somewhat of a mouthpiece right now, because I'm taking the Great Commission seriously enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to dedicate time every day to do this thing, so honestly, all of us need to be doing that. But I mean, right now we're talking about this, so but yeah, if you're really like concerned about the prophecies and you're like ha, that prophet was false or whatever, or if you're on the other side and you're like, man, that prophecy didn't come true, like I don't know how to feel, well, check out a previous juice. I did a previous juice about Jonah. I think I did the whole Jonah, if I'm not mistaken. I think I talked about the whole book of Jonah in that episode, but I can't remember right now. But but I talked about that one, and I'm kind of reminded of that because at the end of the day, the whole thing was, well, aside from the fact that Jonah didn't want to go, so aside from that, the whole thing about him going, he went and gave a message or a prophecy to the city of Nineveh. Like what said the Lord, what God said He was going to do to that city. And the leader of that city and those people repented. And because of that, God changed His mind about the prophecy and gave a new prophecy over the city. So I say that to say, it can be conditional. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's plenty of accounts in the Bible of that as well. People wanted Saul when God didn't want them to have no king. You know what I mean? All of that. You know what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't be I would be careful. Be careful. On either end, be careful calling, calling people names, whatever the case is. Be careful of that. And, be careful, like, again, if you're on the other end, be careful of, like, glorifying these type of people, whatever the case is. I put my faith and trust in God and see what He has to say and discern and all of that. There was another thing about being careful that came into my mind, like, right before I was going on, but I don't know if I can remember at the moment. Can I remember at the moment? Probably like being careful about like what, I don't know. I think I would just keep my eyes open to what's going on, like what's really going on in our government system. Like, I mean, and I'll be honest, y'all. I think I shared this yesterday, but I mean, I'll be honest again. I'm not somebody that has followed politics that much to know every single detail about what happened with every single president and all that stuff. But again, maybe this comes with maturity. Maybe this came with being a parent. Whatever the case is, it just was like I started to pay more attention to who I was voting for. I was like, when I went to vote this time, I felt informed enough to be like, okay, I know these names, I know what they stand for, and this is what I want to vote for. These are who the people I want to vote for. So yeah, I think it matters. Like at the end of the day, yeah, okay, God's in control, and whatever. It's not saying, but at the same time, I do believe that this matters. It's important for us to not be blind in this season, like to not just follow things blindly. So I mean, I don't know. Hey, let me give you guys this Bible verse today. It's 1 John 3:18. It says, "My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Hey friends, so guys, I just finished my first day with the Faith Fit TV version of the Faith Fit app. I'm telling you guys, it's on a whole nother level. I really enjoyed it. I'm a little tired, as you guys could probably tell, but at the same time, I feel so good. It's just a great devotional workout, strengthening your body and your faith at the same time. So if you guys want to check it out, use GSL to get 10% off and go to Faith Fit TV.